Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome into the Farm to Table Show. It is Front Porch Friday. Good morning, Duncan Family Farm. Scotty is already in there. We've been back and forth, and that is a funny one, Scott. Scotty, that is funny. Uh, and of course, Terry with TNT is already in there. I'd already kind of been talking with them in the chat box. Scotty had one of his usual funnies to get us started. But anyway, welcome in. It is Friday, May the 16th. And there's Bro jumping in. Uh, anyway, we are going to go through a few things this Friday. Of course, hang on just one second. Let me see. Where am I at here? Let me get that link up. I got busy getting coffee. And let's see. Copy that. We'll go ahead and put this link. Let's see if I can do that. Yep. Okay. So there's the link right there. If anybody wants to jump on panel this morning. Good morning, Robbie. Good morning, Ed Kirkpatrick. Glad to see you all in this morning with us. I did go horizontal today, so that may the numbers may not jump as high, but I felt that if people got on panel this morning, that it would allow us to see each other a little easier. But anyway, we are go for takeoff. That's right. Good morning. Boy, things are moving faster than yeah. Let's see, where am I at here? Yeah. Okay, so I say, did I miss Teresa Jukowitz in there? Or did Robbie call somebody else? Yeah, yeah. Anyway, all right. So, yeah, Greg, I don't know if you're listening. I don't know if you're able, and I know your internet sometimes is hit. Are you able to come in on panel? Terry, I understand. I like the horizontal, especially for I know the people on phones. They like it better. Um, and unfortunately, once we start, this is kind of what we got. But but anyway, so. Well, yeah, I was. I mean, no wrong. Listen, come on in, Terry. If you want to come on, that's fine. This is open. I got room for plenty of people. I know. I don't know if Bro's going to try to join in this morning or not. Um, if he's going to come in and join us live, or if he's going to stay in the chat box. I went on the phone. I turned it sideways. Okay, all right. I misread that. Yeah, you like it. You like it horizontal. Yeah, you know, funny thing is Keith likes he likes the horizontal, um, like this. I mean, as far as when you got panel, but vertical, he likes because he says it puts, gets the camera closer to my face, fills up the screen. I don't know. Maybe he's weird, but I know Robbie says that when he's on his phone, when it's vertical, it makes it easier for the seeing the chat and all that. And I get it. But anyway, so yeah. Anyway, what we're going to do, we've got a few in here, and kind of wait to see how many more of our usual suspects pop in here. Because anyway, I okay, all right, Greg, that's fine. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I know you got to go get a shirt on and do your hair, and make yourself look all pretty. Not bad, not bad. Trying a new K-pot this morning, and it's French vanilla cappuccino. So we'll see how it goes. Kind of got a different tang to it, but anyway. So I'm going to show y'all something. We've got enough in here, and I'll show it again later. This It's the beginning of something I'm working on, and I told Bro about it yesterday. Kind of built it up a little too much, maybe, but figured we'll see if y'all like this. Yeah, I don't know. The blemishes are there. Oh, shirts are required. Well, bro, you're in the islands, and but I understand. But anyway, I'm going to switch over the screen here for just a second and show y'all something. Okay, TNT. Let's see where we go here. Let's bring Terry. All right, there we go. All right, I'm going to hide Well, let me see. Yeah, that's wrong. Let me see. I think that messes up the overlay. There we go. All right. Anyway, so what I'll have to do with doing that is I'll have to highlight uh, the comments if they're outside of YouTube. We don't get very many, but if they are, I'll highlight them. But anyway, I'm going to share a screen up here for just a second and something that I've been working on and see what y'all think. Anyway, what y'all think of that? Front Porch Friday.
I
Keith,
like that. That's cool.
anyway, so bro, there's the first part of that surprise. You can check that out. Let me see if we can see if I can bring us. Yeah, we can bring us in like that now and see. Okay. Anyway, that's kind of the an idea working with some stuff. The little animation, a little funny, and but the I've got some other stuff I'm working on. The baby craze is kind of going around and making fun stuff, so I thought we could have some fun with it too. But anyway, so that's the first installment. Greg, whenever you get a chance, if you're able, go ahead and come on in. And Well, first time for all of us. I like it. Okay, all right. But anyway, I want to leave that up. That I say that's everybody's in here. I'm going to go ahead and go back to that for now. We may jump back on it, but anyway, um, I have to look that up. Did it? Hang on. You know what? It did take my glasses off. I didn't catch that. When I made it. You're right, Scotty. I've got others. I don't have them loaded on here to show you that have my glasses on there. But for whatever reason, they, working with AIs and things like that, they'll sometimes miss things like that. But yeah. So anyway, but that's just the first one I've worked on. Seeing where we're going. I got some other stuff. Thumbnail, bro. Yeah, yeah, thumbnail. So yeah, that may work. I've got a couple others, bro. I'll have to show them to you later. I'll send them over to you. But I didn't load them into the scenes here on the screen on the control. So, but anyway, so yeah, Terry had a good week.
Yeah, I had a pretty good week. Healing up, doing some work. You
Yeah.
know, you know how that goes. Last week, I got the stitches out on Friday, and Saturday I cut down 15 trees. And I had some people say, "Well, you didn't waste any time." I'm like, I took 2 weeks off.
Right.
I
Got two
broke my
weeks
mower
behind.
because the grass had gotten so high. I ran over something and broke the spindle on the mower.
Right. And good morning, Barb Taylor. Glad to see you in, and thanks. Glad you liked that. Yeah, but yeah, in fact, I just got my zero turn. I had to have it valve set and adjusted, a bunch of other work done, and so finally got it back. And I'll tell you, I'm happy to have it back because that 54-inch zero turn makes a lot faster rolling than that 42-inch conventional.
Well, we don't have much grass here, just around the solar panels and then out or along the road. And
Right.
but there's still so many rocks and small tree stumps where I cut down trees
Oh yeah.
that you hit it wrong and you
Oh
break
yeah.
it.
Blade. Oh yeah. Blades and bearings and bushings and everything else. Yeah.
it
Oh,
it's just an old Murray mower.
wow, an old Murray. Wow. Didn't know those
We've
were
had
still
it for
around.
a long time.
Heck, yeah, nothing wrong with that. Keeping them running, you know. I remember my dad and I had a few myself, the old Murrays, and man, fight with them things and fight with them things. And it was just one aggravation after another. And we're just not friendly to small engine. That's what I've learned.
Right.
Some kind of curse or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we had an old John Deere that we had. My dad bought it before I was even old enough to drive, and we sold that a few years ago. I mean, it was falling apart. The guy was taking it for a test drive to make sure it ran, and his piece of the mowing deck fell off, and I had to pick it up. And yeah, here's this. He bought it anyway. But
Oh my
it was
goodness.
beyond my ability to fix anymore.
Yeah, I've gotten into a few of those things like that where I tore into something and oops, shouldn't have. But yeah, I finally several years ago, gosh, it's been a lot of years ago now, but I just got uh, tired of tangling with it, and we went and bought the 42 inch, because where we were living at the time, that 42 inch I could spend most of my time backing up, just to obstacles, but it made I could mow my yard in 15 minutes. I mean, it just made my life a little easier, and I wasn't fighting to get a mower started and fighting to do this. Then we moved up here on this property, and honestly, after I got it brush hogged and got it down to a manageable height, uh, I mowed. I've got 4 acres. There's 4.25 acres, and I bet I mow, minus the pond and then minus the houses. I probably still mow 3.5 of that. Uh, and maybe, yeah, probably 3.5 acres, and doing it with that 42. And then I come across a deal on a 6 foot finish cutter to go behind my tractor. That's when I realized my 8N wasn't worth anything, because it couldn't handle it. So and it lost compression and everything else. So I found a guy that was looking for a restoration project, and out it went. I went and bought me a new tractor that could handle it. Well, now that thing's broke, but came across a deal on a zero turn back last year, and used zero turn, and I was like, I've got to get it, as I'd watched other people come up to help me mow with their zero turns, and I'm like, yeah, it's just, I've got to have that. It's too much time saver. As if I do all the mowing with that 42 inch, it can take me 5 hours to mow this place, 6 hours, and it's got faster because I've gotten a better system, but figured out how to mow it. But when I first started, it'd be a 6 hour day to mow this place. Um, Now I can get on that zero turn. If I do it all on a zero turn, and I stay after it and I don't stop or anything, I can make it out in 2.5 hours.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I hate
so
mow.
it
I
was
actually don't
definitely
mind
worth
mowing this time of year, but after a few mows, you're like, I'm done. I'm over it.
Okay, let's see what Scotty has to say here. It says, actually, let me put the overlay back. Let me pull this up, because I know YouTube could see it, but I need to read it. I remember procedure done Monday for my swallowing problem. Hopefully, it will be the beginning of the end of food getting stuck. 8 trips to the ER is enough. I would agree, and Scotty, we'll definitely be praying for you on that. That it goes well, that the doctors do what they're supposed to, able to do, and you get that problem solved, brother, because that's food getting stuck. That's a no bueno situation right there. So we'll definitely be praying for you, brother. So that tells me, Scotty, you're not going to be joining us on Monday. I suspect you'll be at the hospital early, or the outpatient, or whatever it is. But anyway, so we'll miss you if you're not here Monday, but we'll definitely be praying for you. Because man, couldn't even imagine. uh, Robbie says, if my mower is broken again, seems like every other time it's used, it breaks. Yeah, I remember those days, and yeah, it's so I was going to sell when I got that zero turn. I was going to sell my conventional, and my wife kind of put the brakes on the idea of it. She said, "No, hey, good morning, Tracy. Good to see you in. We've been missing you. I know you've been busy with garden stuff and getting things going, but we've been seeing you guys, you and Tim in. But anyway, yeah, she didn't want me to sell it, because that's the one she knows how to operate, and turned out to be a good choice, because that zero turn went down. And actually, I had three what I call finish cutting devices. I had brush hog back there, but I had 3 finish cutting devices, and all 3 were broke at one time. And so I was like, well, which one's the cheapest? Which one's the cheapest one to fix? And so, and so I went with that. Just so happened rebuilding the deck on that conventional, I thought was the cheaper option. So I rebuilt that deck and tuned it up, and that's what I used to.
Last year, I broke 3 spindles on our mower, and it's only got 2. So, and I've already broke 1 this year. So I gotta get a part ordered and get it done. I ended up taking the high wheel trimmer and finished mowing, but that's not a real. I mean, it does an okay job, but it doesn't finish it up nicely. It handheld brush hog sort of.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Anyway, I see. Good morning, Lisa. Glad to have you in this morning. And finally got a new job at a garden center, fitting, right? Totally fitting. Okay, good. We got Greg in. Let's see if we can get him in there this morning. Good morning, Greg. Man, did you have to go out in the truck to?
I will tell you what to do. I'm sitting for Spyro Public Library. Have a little
Oh
internet.
wow. Okay. Goodness. Well, I didn't mean to be. I'm sorry I had to get you out of the house and into town so early. But anyway.
Living in the country, dude.
Oh, I know, especially out there, man. That's Spyro ain't got good internet anyway, and then but anyway, yeah. Well, Greg, how's things been going over there?
Been busy with work and then just busy around the farm. Can't get everything done. More price than there's time to get it done. But we're working on it. In fact, tomorrow's the plan. I really could use that Saturday working, but I'm gonna try to go down there and visit a little bit if I can. But
Right.
we've actually still got some garden to put in, and I know that's kind of late, but we got some stuff we wanting to do.
Oh, I'm so far. I'm right there with you. Every time I think I'm going to have a day to do it, it rains, and so it's like, But
Yeah,
and which that's what I was going to say. It's supposed to be chances of rain tomorrow, but I don't know. I'm hoping it don't.
yeah, that on top of everything.
Yeah, but anyway, well, Greg, let me see. I know you've been busy with. Let me get the chat back up. I got comments over there, and I blocked it off. Yeah, let's see where we go. Okay, yeah. All right, people just talking. Yeah, it amazes me how fast it gets up. Now, your work now is that all like with the children's home work, or
Yeah,
what else?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I go out and visit mostly churches anymore is what my job is, and I go out and visit with pastors and churches and just connect in the ministry to the local church,
right.
And so yesterday was a unique day. I did something yesterday different. I went up to northeast Oklahoma and
Really?
old Paul Case Farms.
Right.
He's pastor at one of my churches, and so I loaded him up, and we went around and visited 15 different churches yesterday. It's a big day.
Wow, that's a lot of driving, a lot of
Yeah,
time, but that's good. I mean, you know,
it was a long
you
day,
know, but I mean,
long day.
uh, oh, Rebecca said, "Good morning from Oklahoma in a tent." So
Oh,
that tells me she is at Mid America, is what that tells me. She's already there.
yes,
I know some of them were. I knew Jesse and Lisa and some all them, Mike and Terry and all them were already up there,
yes.
but not going to make it.
Yeah, I know we're going to try to go up there
Yeah,
tomorrow and visit.
I had wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, I had wanted
Hopefully,
to. It's just not in the cards this time around. But it's got countertops that are supposed to be coming sometime anywhere between now and the middle of next month. Just I got to call them today, see where we're at, and so I've got cabinet work that I've got to get tidied up in this house, and limited days off to get it done. So it's I've got to prioritize, unfortunately, but. But
Yeah,
it'll go a long ways to having a nice house, having had the beginnings of a nice house, and being able to actually feel kind of almost civilized again. I mean, the stove is there, refrigerator's there, microwave's there, sink's there, but when you don't have counters to set things on, and you can't finish your cabinets out, it kind of makes for a rough go. So, but anyway,
yep.
yeah. So we've got a few more things, and like I said, it's just working on it one day a week, one day every 2 weeks, kind of makes it hard to get it done. So
yeah, it's slow going
but
that way. That's for
it'll be
certain.
worth it when it's done. Just of course, there's two or three other parts of the house screaming to be next when that's done. But
Always something.
let's see, we've only been able to go tomorrow because of Sonia's new job. The grands have soccer tomorrow, so we can't miss that. Yeah, that's a fact, Rob. You got to be there for those things. I expect we'll be seeing the grands sometime this weekend. They're as we always see them somewhere. But yeah, and a very long drive in one day. But yeah, Keith said, "Give our regards to Mid America, Rebecca." So yeah, definitely. So in fact, I thought about reaching out to Lisa and them and just letting them know, hey, sorry, we'll see you later. But so anyway, Greg, you kind of had some exciting news up there at Ten Killer with your
Yes.
Centennial Farm designation. What all, I mean, what all comes with that? I mean, I know you get to hang a sign, but I mean,
that is pretty much it. Yeah, our farm qualifies for a Centennial Farm in the state of Oklahoma, and those rules listed out are the big part is that you had to have at least 40 acres in your name of your family with a member of the family living on it for at least 100 years. In our family, my great grandpa and his brother-in-law, our Uncle Whit, they bought that property in 1915, and there's been a few swaps amongst family members. It all went to my uncle, and then it went to my grandpa, and then it went from my grandpa straight to the grandkids, which is me and my brother. We split the 40 acres now.
Okay.
So for 100 years, over 100 years since 1915, so we're at 110 years. It basically from there, you're filling out paperwork. You send in, it costs you $25. So the government's got it figured out. That's just to be qualified, and then once you get they go through it. You have to send them copies of deeds and all this stuff. So there's hoops to jump through.
Right.
And what do you get out of it if they and yes, we qualified. We haven't got. They're supposed to present that at some point in time. The presentation can be a little bit of a dud. They send it to you in the mail. But I've contacted Rick West, our state rep, and he's going to come and be in it. And we've got they do send it out to local papers, and those papers. I've already talked to one of the papers, and they are going to come and take pictures and do something. And you know how much they do or don't do. I kind of don't care in one sense. But I would like to have it recorded for history. And what do you get out of it? That's the big question, right? Nothing. You get a sign. You get the sign, hanging the sign up. Oh yeah, by the way, the sign, if you want it, costs extra $75. But yeah. So anyhow, we're going to hang the sign up. Hopefully, get it in the newspaper. You get no tax benefits. You get no discounts, or there's no financial gain whatsoever. It doesn't help you on the insurance or nothing.
You just get to be famous.
Well, yeah. How famous does a spirographic make you? I don't know. That's our local newspaper. And big time if we make the Poto newspaper. I'm not sure what it's called anymore, but anyhow, I still don't think that's going to do it. It's not. Why do you do it? I do it because I want that to be there for my family for history. I think it's important that we recognize it. Times are changing. What if there's time where family members can't hold on to that land anymore? What happens if you don't know what, I want it to be recorded for history. That's why I'm doing it, to recognize, my family, my grandpa, my dad, my grandpa, my great grandpa, my uncle. I'm doing it to recognize their effort into creating this legacy. I've never grown up. I'm letting go all of my deals. I'm still gonna make a video on it someday. I was waiting to get the sign. I've never grown up in a place where I've never had a place to at least pitch a tent and call home. I don't know what it's like as a 60-year-old fella. I don't know I don't know what it's like to not have a piece of property that,
Right.
that I could always be home. I've run around and walked on the lands that my dad played on and lost his teeth, and he was behind a truck and lost his teeth. My grandpa, as a boy, played on the same property and climbed the same trees. I don't know what it's like to not have that, and so anyhow, I'm recognizing that my kids did that. My grandkids have done that. They've played on the same place. That's when you start looking at the big picture of it. 6 generations of family on the same piece of property. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it is. And Keith had, I don't know if you can see the chat. Keith had put
I can't.
bragging rights. Oh, he said bragging rights is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I just want to recognize that because, generations down the road, they may not be able to. And I just want to acknowledge that and recognize that. But anyhow, that's the long story.
Okay. Keith had asked, okay, I guess Terry popped out there. Keith
Terry?
had asked if you grew up. Keith asked if you grew up on the land, and you kind of answered that you did.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I cannot see chat. Yeah, I did grow up on that original property. The original property was actually 50 acres, and we had a house on that part of that 50. And it was. And then, I have moved off and come back. There for 10 years, I moved to Medill to live at the children's home. And so I was gone for 10 years. But even during that time, we had family members living on the property. And, there was an interesting question they asked. They asked, one of the qualifications, you have to make at least $1,000 a year. And I told him, I said, I can tell you what I've done on it. I said, I have no idea what my grandpa made on that property. How much, did he always make $1,000? She said, well, that's not really the gist of she said, that's not an issue. She said, you kind of jumped the big hurdles. But I thought it was funny. I mean, what a silly question. How would you know? And what was $1,000 like in 1915 and 1925?
Oh, right, that's big money back then, man.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. How would you know?
Right. I mean, unless somebody kept some awfully meticulous records and preserved them.
It wasn't that. Yeah. I appreciate you asking about it.
Yeah, well, it was something that was fascinating to Keith and I, and I've known about Centennial Farms and have met people that have them and stuff. But what fascinates me in particular with it, and I guess, that is the fact that through the Great Depression era and the Dust Bowl and everything, when so many people lost their farms and closed up shop and moved to California or cities or wherever, to find families that A, stayed on their land, and B, toughed it out and figured out, what that was like, So that's what makes it, I think. I mean, one, a family on the same property or some member of the family for that many years is fascinating anyway. But then when you consider the things that happened in the last 100 years, 115 years, for it to happen, and it's
and I can tell you, in our case, and it's kind of normal for this area. You guys know in Spiro, you kind of got this. Makes sense to you, but we're only, well, nowadays, what are we, 17 miles out of Fort Smith, something like that. Which back in the day was a long ways. We jump there. My wife works in Fort Smith now, and she gets in the car and drives to work in 25 minutes, or whatever it takes with the traffic. And if I can keep her under the speed limit. But anyways, that road to Spiro is crazy in the morning, or to Fort Smith is crazy busy and fast. And anyways, that was how they got through the Depression. My my grandpa was 9 years old when he moved in. My uncle Whit owned a home in Fort Smith of some sort, and as well go back to Fort Smith. He caught the train, which there's a train that runs through here and goes into Fort Smith. A lot of people used to do that. They catch the train. Now, when I say catch the train, there's a place you can catch. They would catch like a hobo would do. They'd catch the train and jump on a moving train and ride to town and jump off. And a lot of people did that. And I don't know that he did that, but it makes sense that he did, because a lot of people used to do that from this area. Or he would ride a horse, and he would go to Fort Smith, and he would work during the week in he worked at a wagon factory, downtown somewhere in Fort Smith.
Yeah. And, over off of Kelly over there was made hoops and, made all the wagon and all that stuff.
Yeah. So he did that, and that's how they kept the farm. And they did farm. They, back in the day, grew cotton for a long, long time. They grew cotton, and early on, and then later on they grew other crops. They've grown even soybeans and stuff. I can remember soybeans growing, but for the most part, it's been cattle producing for the last many years. And during my time, I baled hay on it, because I didn't live close. We've had horses on it for a while. We rented it out to Mr. Cox. You remember him? One of the ag teachers, and he would run horses on it for a period of time, especially while my dad was sick. But anyhow, once I got it, we produced hay, and then we've have cattle again now.
Right. Keith said he's learning something I never knew about old Spyro, talking about the train and people jumping there to go to Fort.
Yeah. Back in the day, I mean, this was before cars and stuff, and of course the road coming into town. My grandmother, now I don't know the year. I'd have to sit and think about the year it was, but she was probably 15 or 16, and I remember her telling me stories about coming into Spyro out of Fort Smith. Of course, Fort Smith was a different place back then.
Oh, a lot different.
Yeah, coming over that hill on the east side of town, you're up above the Spyro Lake, and you're coming in, and a little bit of a hill there, and she saw all those lights of town. Of course, the lights of town weren't as big as they are now, but she thought Spyro was a big town. Well, it wasn't. But anyhow, it was a dirt road coming in back then before the highway.
Yeah. Terry said his grandpa used to do that. I assume he's talking about jumping the trains and riding trains in. I think it was probably more common than not back then. And it's I've looked at different times through the years, looked at some people's pictures and stuff and stories and things of that nature. But I remember which I'm just a few years younger than you, but I remember going to Fort Smith. Mom and Dad worked over there, but I mean I still remember going to Fort Smith was a big deal. Even in the late 70s and 80s. I mean, to get to go to town, get to go to Fort Smith. But of course, I said I'm a weirdo, I'm a history nut, and so finding what Spyro had, how they used to have the cannery, and they used to have all these different things, and you could see all these different things out there, and it's like it used to be there, and and in fact, I can see a little bit of Main Street behind your window back there, kind of the condition, some of the condition, some of those. The condition some of the buildings have gotten into, and some of that back there it is right outside you're right outside the museum and the old bank and all that. Hope I didn't lose him. There he is. But Well, folks, you're getting a shot of the main street that Greg and Keith and I grew up around, and Greg still lives there. Keith and I pass through from time to time, but that's a little shot of our hometown Main Street. But Yeah, that's it. Well, Keith said, I'm going to share this one. Said back when the only way you could hang out with your friends was to meet them uptown by the light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I, I, I remember the stoplight came in. We didn't used to have a stoplight. We had stop signs. Yeah.
yeah.
But,
I don't know if you can see it or not. You can see
uh,
the stoplight
yep, right down
way
at the
back
end there.
there.
Oh, yeah. Uh,
They're still.
yep. Oh. Well, anyway, well, Greg, appreciate you jumping on for a few minutes. Did get your number that you sent over yesterday. So I'm gonna give you a call
Good.
and chat up about something, a couple of things. But anyway, kind of in relation to what we were just talking about this morning. But
Okay. Well,
anyway,
give me a call anytime, brother.
yeah, appreciate you jumping on. I'm gonna get this thing wrapped up and get on out of here. And I appreciate you taking the time. We'll talk to you. You too, brother. We'll talk to you soon. All right, folks. Well, you got a little bit of introduction, to Greg. If you didn't already, had never met Greg with Duncan Family Farm, got to learn a little bit about their stuff. I'm not going to get into what I had here, just in case I needed talking subjects, because. But anyway, Tuesday is episode 100. Can you believe that? Episode 100 on Tuesday. It will be our last. I don't know what the word is here. It'll be our last with the double channel. So make sure you get on the one that says the Farm to Table Show, not the one that says the Farm to Table Show 2. So make sure y'all do that. As we've heard us talk about, Mid America YouTube Meetup is this weekend, starts today, goes through Sunday. Several said they were going to be going up at least for a day and that type of thing. It's Deep Fork Campground Pavilion in Lake Eufaula State Park today through Sunday. MT Homestead is the host. You can still reach them at mthomesteadok@gmail.com. Also go on to Lazy Days Ahead with Lisa and Jesse, and you'll find out information there. So anyway, that is Monday. We are going to pick up, and we are. Let me hang on. Monday we start week 2. Now week 1, this was waking up to the system and awareness. Step 2 next week, we was talking about gardens, is grow something, anything. So that's step 2 on the 7 steps to self-reliance. So we'll be getting into some episodes starting Monday on that. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed getting to meet Greg and kind of talking about Centennial Farms and just kind of hanging out with us on our front porch. I'm going to go ahead and bring this back up. Yep, the old Front Porch Friday. Uh, hope y'all enjoyed that. Anyway, everybody, let me see, where am I at down here? I got to move notes. If you can read this message, you're on the right channel. Good one, bro. I like that. What did I do? I had so much stuff thrown in here. Anyway, what did I do with? Oh, okay, there it is. All right. Yes. That's what happens when you got show notes and you move them around. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. I've got to go to work today, and I know many of y'all do as well. Anyway, glad you all joined us. Thank you for that. It is a wrap on the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition, Front Porch Friday. Thanks for joining us as we strive towards building stronger communities for now and in the future. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget the like button, give us the old thumbs up, and subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. That is the Farm to Table Show. That is the Farm, the number 2 Table Show. Anyway, it's the best way to stay connected, help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. Until next time, keep your roots deep and your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like you. Remember, we are hashtag stronger together, hashtag think outside the big box store, shop local. Keith Keith put the link up to the new channel right there in chat. Under that was Tracy, join us on the other channel. So there's the link to the new one. Greg says, have a great day, everyone. Let me go ahead and put this overlay back up. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe. But anyway, So everybody do have a great. And Scotty said hashtag the cat did it. That's the world I live in. Anyway, be a blessing to everyone. Be a blessing to someone today, even if it's just a smile. We will see you all on the other side, and we're going to hand this over to Hank to take us on out of here.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.